Just checking all the levels and stuff. This seems okay. Coming in as mono, I believe. Oh. Alright, so welcome. I'm just getting acquainted here with my new setup, so I'll be definitely looking forward to some chats to let me know how horrible my audio quality is, how the music sounds. Is the music too loud? I don't know, maybe. I'm gonna try and pull this up on my telephone. And yeah. All right, cool. I got the chat room up. All right, so I just started up with my new, so this is the craft studio that I typically use. So I typically do all of the actual stuff here. All the stuff that I have done in the past has been down in my video studio that I use for teaching. And it's just kind of a pain to have to go up and down the stairs to get my tools. So of course I meant to do this last week, but in the last 2 hours I kind of got this rigged up here, so hopefully it is okay. We'll see. We're using a wireless microphone that I've not tested a whole lot, and we have a couple different cameras. So we have our sewing machine view. We're going to be using that. We have our top down on the workbench. Yes, that's cardboard. And we have this little mixed view, so we'll just have to see how it goes. So yeah, if anyone has any audio questions or anything like that, I'm kind of just really excited to just work in here and get some stuff done. So I'll try to keep in mind, I'm having some trouble with my Stream Deck. So I'll try and keep in mind where I'm working and how all that's going. But this is the first time I've used this particular space, so I don't know how well this is actually going to work. So, yeah. I better let the Discord know that I started this so I can get some feedback. And yeah, studio. I sure can't type and think at the same time. Cool. Well, I'm gonna get working on some stuff. I'll be looking for any commentary from y'all on what I'm doing. I wish I had a good camera that I could talk to easily, but we really don't have that set up yet. My Stream Deck or my Elgato capture card is also giving me a bit of a hard time, so I wasn't able to get that on board on time, but we'll just have to see how it goes. So first thing that I'm going to do, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way. That's part of why this room has trouble, is because there's just a lot of cleanup to do. So there's stuff from every previous project to get into place before I can start the next thing. So, this stream today is, hey man, how's my audio and stuff? Can you hear me okay? That's the big question. Can you hear me? And is the music too loud? Thanks, bro. Sounds fine. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, cool. All right. So I'll give you guys the music would be a smidge lower. Okay, cool. Let's do that. That should be a little bit better. So here's the tour once more. We have the, I'm gonna get some better cameras for me just like talking to the camera in a couple different spots, but this is the best I could do in like 2 hours. So the last 2 hours trying to get this all put together. And I'm pretty happy with it, that it's working. All right, so thanks for joining Zet Wilder and Brashback. So we have our sewing machine camera. This is what we're gonna be doing some sewing here. I need to clean this up a little bit yet. And then we have our workbench camera. And this, you know, I say workbench, but this is, it's cardboard. I was gonna replace that with wood. Yeah, it is a bit bright behind me. I'll get some wood there after a while. But yeah, that's the sewing, the light above the sewing machine is like hella bright. So I'll kind of pitch this way, then it's a little better. So that's the full workbench area. Oh, did it? I wonder if I adjusted volumes. I better check. It should be about right. I mean, I might have just gotten quiet. I'm not sure. Well, we'll stick with this one for now, and I'll try to speak up a little bit. I'm definitely gonna have to get like some monitors and stuff because I can't, it'll be distracting to not see what's going on. So I'm just gonna put some stuff away. That's like step one here. That there's like all kinds of stuff everywhere. So this has a lot to do with how I've been streaming down in the basement for a while. This is a part of our project that we're gonna work on today. Trying to make a field notes cover, but I did just such a bad job cutting it out. I think I'm going to, this is going to be a template. I'm going to do a better job and probably just print out something and then cut that out as my template. But going to be making some field notes covers. Let's see here. This goes right here. So here's the things that I want to do. Maybe not today, but soon. So every time that I think like, you know, Grant, you're not that bad of a hoarder. You're not really hoarding too many things. I think back to our sunglasses bin. So this bin is basically every pair of sunglasses that has died prematurely that we've had for many years. But the thing with this bin is that I'm like slowly pilfering this to keep other pairs of sunglasses alive. So whenever we need like a different, you know, earpiece or screw or some kind of like a bracket or something like that, I can melt it out of here. We'll probably just throw this all away at some point, but like for now, it's been really convenient just to have spare parts for all these sunglasses. And you know, occasionally you find one where you're like, oh, this pair is fine. I could totally wear this. So there's the sunglasses bin. All right. So let's see, what am I gonna do next? I really wish that this camera that's back here was facing towards my face. But, oh, and it's all out of focus. This Brio camera, man. So I've been working on these webcams, right? And trying to figure out which one works best. And this one here is like over $150 right there. This is a really expensive one. Got it from a friend. I don't think I'd ever buy one though, because like this one was $30 and it works just fine. They're both at 1080p. And so it's weird that this one works so much better. And I do see my levels are a little lower on this scene, but let's clean up some of this stuff. So this is my Sailrite machine. It is a very fancy sewing machine, and being honest, it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's I'm having a lot of trouble with tension lately, where it is probably because I go through too heavy of material and then try to go through lighter material after the fact. So I think what I'm going to be doing, my phone there. I think what I'm going to be doing here for a little bit is I'm going to rethread with my black thread. Looking at some catalogs here. I'm going to rethread with my black thread and then do some tests on some leather and really get this ready to go for leather, because I don't want to be doing a ton of canvas stuff for the next while, and I want to see if I jacked up my machine too bad, and we'll have to do some adjustments. So one of the cool things about these machines, about these Sailrite machines, is that they are repairable by the user. And so I can service this machine just fine. I wish I didn't have to service it as often, but I can service it myself. That was basically what sold me on it, was the fact that this machine is built for people who are sailing and on boats and things. And if you're out in the middle of the water and you need to repair your boat sail, you don't really want to have to take it into a repair shop. So the company that does this is really helpful with different videos on how to service your machine. So they are really nice about it. Oh, come on. And if you have any problems, like I've had a number of issues with it, they will, if they don't have a video for it already, they'll like record a video on what to do to fix it and send that to you so you can fix your machine. Hey there, leading musicians. I'll show you the different camera angles as well. We're working on it. We don't have a ton of things, but we have sewing machine camera, then we have workbench camera, and then we're working with the laptop camera as well. So we need a couple more camera setups, I think, to be able to get more of me talking. But for now, this will work okay. And I'm using a wireless mic setup right now, so I can just kind of walk around the room and not really have to worry about it. So, which is nice because there's a lot of different stations in this room, and so a lot of what I did to set this all up was actually built a couple of these, and I'll probably have to readjust, but I just want to show you. So I built these, and actually I'm going to go to, I'll show you here. So I built a couple of these. So this is the, it's like a $30 webcam, and I bolted it with just an extra piece of camera hardware. This is a 1/4 bolt. I just bolted it through a simple spring clamp. I got a bunch of spring clamps from an estate sale a while ago for just a couple bucks. And so I'm using this so I can clamp this around in different spots in the studio. So I think this is a pretty good route. I have some ball joints, like some swivel joints in the mail right now. That'll help me adjust this a little bit more finely once I have this installed in the final version, but I can then bring this around to different stations within my studio here. So if I want to have a different kind of camera setup, I can totally do that and, you know, bring it along wherever I need to, depending on what I'm working on. Yeah, it's just a regular spring clamp. It's an old one, actually. It's like from, I don't know, 80s or something like that, an old Craftsman thing. So, yep, so I'm gonna go put this back on my, for the sewing machine camera, because that's what we're going to work on right now. And hopefully I get this centered right. To just move it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so kind of fun, right? Not a bad way to go. I don't know if you all can see my phone here. So I have this, this is a magnet mount for a car that I use for all my automobiles. I have one car, but I use this for my automobile and my wife's car as well. And I commandeered an old like task lamp thing and zip tied and glued it in here, so I can have different tutorials. This is actually really helpful when my sewing machine isn't working and I need to watch tutorial videos on how to fix it. Hey, thanks Levansis, nice to see you. Now here's a question. Would it be better if I zoomed in a little bit more on the sewing machine itself, or is this a good zoom level? Just gonna get out bobbins. I've been using this one a little bit. I need to refill my bobbins. I have way too many are empty. More towards the foot? Okay. My foot or the sewing machine foot? That's a joke. I like jokes. Dealer's choice. How's that? Is that a little better? Okay. So I'm going to put my bobbin in the, it does, it's actually, I'll get that hooked up. I haven't used it in a while. So I'm just gonna get this bobbin in place. So the bobbin unspools this way, so the thread goes on this end. And so I run it up this, along here, and then that's threaded properly. For the light, I typically use this lamp, but I don't know if it's going to be in the way. And that's actually something that I need to do with my Arduino stuff is, yeah, this is going to be like super in the way. I'll put it back here. This is just like a mag light, still with the Goodwill sticker on it. Yeah, I'll set up the actual light that came with it here in a second. I was using this light for the Neki machine, which is not shown right now. I haven't used that one in just a little bit. I usually use that for lighter weight fabrics. So this is the light that came with the Cellrite. It's just a flexible light with a magnet on it. I'm like not a huge fan, honestly. Where should I plug this in? This is part of why I don't like it. Like, look how short this cord is. It's very difficult to utilize. but it is nice that it's flexible. Where will these go to? There we go. Yeah, this is the light that came with it. Like I said, I'm not like the biggest fan. I think I'm gonna do some like LED strip lights or something in there later. So now we're gonna thread. So I'm gonna move this up a little bit while I thread. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to snip. I already did snip the end. So we're going to go up through here. Around the pigtail. Some ground effects. I don't know what you mean. Please do elaborate. Unless you're saying you're getting an audio ground sound. Make sure as you're threading this that the presser foot is up. Relieve tension on the tensioner here. Around, down through here, through the uptake arm. And I'm going to swap this out for my leatherworking needle. Yes, ground effects like you'd been under a car. That would be good. That's kind of precisely what I'm planning on doing. I should bring my little microscope up here, I think. Because I want to show you how these two needles are different, and I don't know that I can with these here cameras. Let's see. So this is your standard needle. Don't think that's gonna focus. That's right. That's asking a lot of this camera. So here's the regular needle, the regular point, and then this is the leather needle. I get the light to catch that. See, there's like a diamond tip that's gonna punch through. It's basically just an awl to punch through the leather as it sews. If you don't have one of those, it's like majorly a problem. I'm gonna turn this off because I think it's shining too much. Majorly a problem, and it won't really be super apparent like what's going on. You just won't have good tension. So by having an actual leather needle, you have good tension, you'll have better tension. And as I feel this right now, I'm kind of running my finger along it like that. I'm feeling for a burr, seeing if there's any kind of burr in here that would cause it to catch. And I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of leather here and just, basically strop it. I want this to be really sharp. And if you have a burr that's not super sharp, you'll have all kinds of issues that you wish you didn't have, that you wish you didn't have. Get this needle in place. Worth showing everyone. Let me zoom out again. So I have a pretty intentional setup over here with as much of the sewing stuff at hand as I can get. And so to give you the tour, this is some materials for a pattern for a bag. Take that away a little bit. So here you can see we have quite a few different sewing related types of things. So I have my seam ripper here. This is where the thread snips go, right there. And then I have all of the tools that I need to service the machine handy here. This is where I usually, this tray is usually where I put the bobbins up here. And then I have my various sewing scissors. These are where I put usually Chinese shears, and they'll end up either here or in my other workbench. And so I need to put some back over here. This is the screwdriver for my needle bar. And then I have my various like different beads and oil, and this is my collection of needles here. So I'm probably not pointing in the right spot. Collection of needles and stuff here. And then I have some other random crap that I need to clean up over in this spot. So it's back. Okay. So zoom back in a little bit. So I like to keep all that stuff handy, really close, just because you end up needing to grab things so often when you're sewing. It's like using a machine. You know, this is a pretty significant machine here, so it's important to have the tools for it handy. Right. I've been doing this lately. I don't know how, but I'm getting my thread wrapped around my needle in a weird way. How the hell am I doing that? Try it one more time. That's the cool thing about these industrial machines, is that the needles are so dang big that it's not actually that hard to thread it. I do have my leather foot on here, but I'm noticing my foot is a little loose. I need to tighten that. Oh yeah, it just fell right off. Tighten that. And then I want to make sure there we go. Okay, so got my thread through. A lot of extra thread. I was doing that kind of sloppily, but it's okay. And so I kind of just want to do just a few tests. I need to know if my machine needs servicing or not. So I'm going to grab that same piece of leather I was stropping with. Always good to have lots of extra pieces. And we're going to do 2 pieces of leather here. And I'm going to do a couple stitches. I'm going to do these by hand. I'm just checking, make sure I have needle bars in the center. Don't have any zigzag. I'm just going to do a couple lines here. Okay. No skip stitches. All right, gang, I think we're in business. Pretty loose, but I also didn't backstitch it. Actually, that's really good. Hey, all right, so machine is good to go. So here is that stitch we just did. Both sides. So one thing with the Sailrite is that the stitches on top tend to look a lot better than the stitches below. Because those are like a little rougher looking. So, but this is good to go for what I want to do tonight. So no more testing is really needed. I'm going to do one where I reverse it on both ends and see if that causes any problems. So first thing I'm going to do is going to snip the edges here. Snip these threads. Get them out of the way. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to reverse it afterwards. So drop the presser foot. I'm also going to use the pedal here. Okay, I'm going to reverse it again. And I'm going to remove it from here when the uptake arm is at the top of its travel. Okay, so we got a little bit of weirdness here. Not too bad. So a little bit of strangeness right here where I doubled back, and that could be simply because I wasn't holding onto the thread very well. I'm going to tug on this from this other side and see what it does. Ooh, it just breaks. It's not a good sign. It's not a great sign, but we'll kind of pull on it. This looks really good here. That stitch looks all right. So snip that thread. Snip those threads. All right. Now, if I try and pull on it, it should be pretty sturdy. Well, that one thread broke, so that's actually not super great. This side's pretty good though. So, all right, feeling good about that. So sewing machine is working. Let's see, what else do I want to do? I wonder what I could clamp that to. Clamp to that. So what I want to do today is I've been doing some knife sharpening lately, and I have this knife here that a friend of mine gave me a while ago. It's like kind of a scary knife, like a hunting knife or something. And I got it nice and sharp here. You can see the edge is all shiny. So it's super sharp. I did on my sharpening stream. I don't have a sheath for it though. This is a knife that I'm going to use quotes here, restored like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I was using a Dremel to polish it, and I did just a crap job. Really bad job polishing it. And this was just like some crappy hunting knife I got from a looks like it came out of a catalog, but I got it from an estate sale, and it had like a really bad like horn or fake horn, just plastic handle. So I put this handle on it. You can see these are nails. This is some oak from some trim. But I thought it was a pretty fun project. And this sheath is just total trash. This is just absolute garbage, but I kind of like the form factor is okay. Like the way that they did this pattern isn't the worst thing. It's an okay pattern. So I'm going to use this kind of as a bit of a template, and it should work just the same for this one. Or close enough anyway. And so I'm going to make a pair of sheaths for these two knives. So we're going to go through the design process. I've made some sheaths for hatchets before. So I've made like this thing for a hatchet that I have. It's a little different though. But I'm going to make the knife sheaths here, scabbards, sheaths, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm going to work on. So what I've really got to get going here is some way for me to hear the music too. I don't actually have long enough headphones to be listening to the same music that you're all listening to, which is kind of a bummer because it would be pretty fun to listen to music as I work. So we'll work on it. Maybe we'll see how that goes at some point. So what do we got to do? We could make a pattern first. We could freeform cut it. Figure that out. I'm thinking about tearing this one apart. I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to tear this apart, and I'm going to use this to make a pattern. I'm just going to copy this design. So let's see. I'll move my phone here so I can watch chat. Got some rubber cement gluing this. Still smells like rubber cement. I'm going to grab my seam ripper. Go along here. This side should be easier. Yeah, they're like stitch tension on this. That's just like really bad. Feels so nerdy looking back like that. Goodness. Just so curious, you know? Ooh, gross. There's some gross dust coming out of here. Icky. Okay. Here we go. Here is our pattern. Flatten this out. Okay, so we're looking for this shape about of leather. And I have basically like a giant bin of scrap leather that I purchased from a store called Axeman over the last few years. And I'm using it way slower than I wanted to. So I think it'd be appropriate to use black leather for both of these. So, big old pile of leather. This is just like a pretty big Goodwill bag here. And so, like, there are pieces that are much bigger than I need, but I kind of want to get like just big enough to properly use this scrap. Maybe I can like get a couple out of one of these, but like this one might be, that's a little short. Let's see. I just don't use the black leather as much. Not as interesting to me. Typically use like brown leather more often. Oh, it's too small. I do have some like actual leather pieces too that are more of like the full hide, but those are just so expensive. Try not to use them. Let's snip this. Okay. Might have to use the bigger piece. This design is quite a bit longer than I was expecting. Here we go. This piece is big enough. And maybe I could get a couple out of here, but there's a piece that's big enough right there. So I'm gonna cut that out. That's one. Actually, I'm gonna set this aside and keep looking because I want to make 2 of these. Almost. I think this will work. Yep, this will work great. This is the perfect kind of piece because it's like not going to be super useful for much else. But this is a really nice black leather. So, all right, we got 2 pieces. Then I got those. Put the leather scraps away. Okay. And we need our cutting mat. So this project is kind of in preparation for a project I'm doing maybe for Christmas gifts, if I can get it done fast enough. I'm going to be making some handles for some knives, and I want to make some sheaths for those as well. Okay. So I've used this for a number of vinyl projects, which is why some vinyl stuck to it. There we go. Okay. So here is see if that's a cut. No. I'm actually going to cut it on this side, and I'm going to do some sticky tape. Got some spare here. This is where I stash sticky tape if I'm not going to use it all right away. I'm just going to sticky tape this pattern down so that I can properly orient it and just cut around it. I'm a big fan of this double-sided tape for these sewing projects. Sometimes for this temporary stuff, and thanks, Levensis. Yeah, Thanks for stopping by. Get this in place. It's just not working very well. I just don't want this to move, you know? So I'm using a scratch awl. I'm just going to make sure that that's going to work okay. Let's try our chalk pencil first. Should maybe be doing this on the other side, but I don't really want to mar it. That's not showing up at all. What to do? I might just start cutting. So I'm going to leave, so this is the area that sits right under the knife. I'm actually going to wait on that one. I'm going to cut it kind of wide, just because the two knives are a little different. And I'm going to want to make sure that other hunting knife is set up a little bit better. Hey, thanks, V. Kruger. Yeah, this is totally new. I just got this rolling tonight. I need a little bit more face time. I want to be able to look at the camera a little more, but I think in general, I'm liking it. Again, I'm going wide on that part just because that's different for each of the knives. So I'm gonna, because I have extra, I'm gonna let myself use it. I'm glad you guys like it. It's a lot easier to do crafting with all your tools around, let me tell you. Hopefully I'm not doing the hat thing. That's good. Yeah, that's my old built-in laptop webcam. I couldn't get my Elgato, my secondary Elgato to work on short notice, so I don't know what the deal is with it. I need to uninstall the drivers and that kind of fun stuff, so didn't have the wherewithal to do that, especially not after a virtual happy hour with work. Nice. PC building stream. I must have missed that one. Dang it. I don't have a lot of patience. That sounds cool. Feel like they're downloading from the cosmos. You sure are good at PC building.
That's how it came out. Okay, great. Now let's make it better. But just writing from a place of understanding.
You know, one thing I don't have up here. Oh, nice. Oh, that's right, I did watch that. Thank you again, by the way, for doing that. That's been a critical piece of hardware.
It's not about the ideas, it's about how you support the ideas.
August kind of sucked. I don't really remember August all that well this year. Nice. That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, I don't do any like games or anything like that on it, but it does well for what it is. Handle's recording okay. I'm not super confident about my cuts here. But you know what? It's gonna be okay. This is not for anyone but me, so this is essentially just a practice piece before I do the gift versions, if I'm going to do that. Okay, so take a look here. Hey, that looks pretty good. Oh, there's like a chunk missing here. That's okay. All right. Now I can remove this. And just got done watching an episode of The Repair Shop where the leather worker restored a massive leather poof with like 100 individual panels, each about the size of a playing card. That sounds awful. I would not want to do that. I did see that you were watching that Repair Shop though. How was that show? Would I like it? Okay, so this will fold over like so. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to add a, keeping a force smile the whole time. You can tell it was a massive job. Massive pain in the rear. That goes like that. That goes like that. This goes on your belt. So let's see here. You know what I'm going to do? Yeah, it's a good show. I learned a lot about all the various crafts that are out there. Before I continue this job, I'm going to hurt myself trying to make this sheath. So we're going to grab some painter's tape. And, you know, painter's tape might not do all of it, but it'll help. It'll help me not hurt myself so bad. Just going to put some painter's tape along the blade. That is like the not stickiest thing. So painter's tape does not work. What else could we do? Let's try a new piece of painter's tape. No, there's probably like still some mineral oil from sharpening it. So I do have this handy dandy piece of cardboard. This is for another project that I was talking about, the rehandling. This is a knife blank for a Mora knife. Mora knife that I'm going to be building some handles for in the coming weeks. And then possibly and probably some sheaths as well. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to put this in the strip of cardboard that came with the Mora knife, and maybe it's big enough. It is not big enough. Just about. Okay. All right, so that's safer. Take a knife, you're doing too much more dull knives, then it gets intimidated. And actually, no, that's not going to work because I need to be able to get the profile right in there. So we're going to try heavier duty tape. Some duct tape. I had my gaffer tape. I don't really want to put duct tape on this thing. But oops, you can always use some mineral oil or something later to take it off. So we're just gonna Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. The adhesive will come off. I just kind of want to not cut myself really badly for the next hour. So what I need to do is really have this thing in here. Yeah, that's the goal anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, this is where the sheath that this knife came in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rivet in this spot right here. I'm going to put a metal rivet through here. This stuff here, this is Axeman discount bin leather. So it's some black cowhide, I believe. It's really shiny, isn't it? Really beautiful stuff. The best kind. The cheap kind is the best kind for sure. So let's stick this in here. And I just want to get a picture of what this profile is going to look like here. So I think I'm going to scribe this profile if I can. Yeah, it is that's referred to as chromed leather, chrome polished, I think. I don't know why they call it chrome leather, but we're just gonna, I'm not rubbing against the metal of the knife, I'm just trying to get the right angle here. Very cozy vibe, but yeah, you would for sure really enjoy the repair shop. Very cozy vibes, but everyone knows their craft extensively well, and woodworker guy is very good. Hey, J. Deere Leatherwork, welcome. You might have a lot of opinions about what I'm doing here, because I'm not doing I'm not very good. I'm learning. We're learning on the job today. So I took an old sheath, ripped off the pattern, and that last thing I was just doing is I tried to account for a different profile of the knife. So trying to get the right angle here for how the knife sits. And so I think I'm going to just cut this because this is really good. So I'm going to go down here. We'll learn on the job. I just want to get that angle in really good. So where's my dang old, there we go, straight edge. Go down a little bit more. I'm going to go down to here. Chrome tanned leather. If that's chrome tanned leather, it will harm the blade of the knife. Really? As it goes in and out, it will harm it? Really? I didn't know that. Why is that? I love good old knowledge. That's what this looks like, right? Is chrome tanned? I kind of unfortunately don't have a spec sheet on it. Yeah, I probably could. I'd probably cut through it. I don't know if I have anything that's durable enough, honestly. Chrome salts used in the tanning process will eat the metal eventually. Oh. Even if it's like stainless? I thought it was maybe an abrasion thing, but that makes more sense. so it's not perfect, but should work. And this is the very first time I've done one of these, so I'm like kind of just making it up as I go right now. Or is it like just an off-gassing kind of thing, or? I totally got that angle wrong. But you know what? That's okay. We're just gonna keep doing it until we get it right. I think that's better. Oh, that's fascinating. I'm gonna read some more about that. That's super cool. Does this look like chrome tanned? I guess I'm not familiar enough with it. I mean, with it being that shiny, I think that's one of the qualities of it, right? Veg tanned. I have some of that handy. Like, get a whole mess of veg tanned here, but I wanted to use something that's black. Yeah, all this material I got from this shop called Axeman, and they have a really nice discount leather section. I bought all of this years ago, so I just want to use it up. What does the cut edge look like? See how close we can get. That's what the cut edge looks like. I don't know if that's enough of a view for you. Looks like chrome tanned. Dang it! I wonder if this piece is too. So what are you looking for there? Trying to thin this a little bit here. It folds a little better. I'll get a different knife for this. I don't have a skiver, so I think I need one for this spot. So we're doing this really rough. I feel bad for anyone who actually does leatherworking with some regularity. I'm sure this is hard to watch. I'm doing kind of a sloppy job. But I'm learning, so. I'm probably still gonna finish this just because I've already cut it out. Even though it is the wrong type of leather, but that is super good to know. I had no idea. out that veg tan stuff, or the chrome tan. Actually, I'm gonna keep skiving this a little bit more. So if I was really serious about this, I would have a tool dedicated to this kind of task of trying to make the leather thinner when I'm trying to make multiple layers, so it's less for the machine to go over and it's less bulky. That really helps a lot with trying to get this to come together. I don't like this really sharp angle here. I think I'm gonna round that off a little bit. How do I do that? What can I try to do? I wonder what the rate of decay is for that. Like how long it would take for it to pit the leather. There we go. It's looking a little better. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go stitch this up. Oh. No, I should glue this first. Oh no, my crazy glue is down in the basement. Dang it. I think anyway, maybe I put it back. Aha! Crazy thing of glue. I'm going to use that. I need to definitely crack a window. You know, this is like maybe mostly a throwaway project. So I might just use double-sided tape. I don't know if that's what I should do or not, but probably what's going to happen right now, because I don't want to wait for that rubber cement to dry. And I don't really want to stink up my room right now because I don't have my fan in when it should be in the window. So because I don't really want to breathe this in for the next half hour, gonna not. But I'm gonna use some of this stuff. This is at least like kind of gonna help a little bit. Okay. Save you for later. And so if I was really serious about this, everywhere where I'm going to be sewing, going to be doing a seam, I would use some of this rubber cement to actually get those edges good. But I kind of just want to do this project as just a little practice run, so I'm less concerned about it. Okay, that's down, and then I'm going to use other basting tape. Use the thinner stuff and go around this edge where this is all going to come through. This starts right up there. Got a bit of a rub. And we'll line this up. Man, I haven't done any kind of projects like this in a long time. No leatherworking at least, so I'm just going to do another quick test fit. Make sure that this sits in there right. Okay. All right. Cool. So now I'm going to go through and stitch this thing up. I'm going to do a couple stitches across, and I'm going to do back and forth here. Maybe like across here a little bit, and then around the perimeter. So I'm going to mark where I'm going to put my rivet. So I'm going to do copper or brass. See how this looks. I think copper. Oh, no, the one knife is brass, so I think I'm going to use brass. Unless anyone on the chat has an opinion. Anybody wants to chime in? Just take both these out. Okay. I kind of just want to like give this a look-see as to how much space this is going to take up. I think I'm going to go with copper. Copper's a little softer too. So I want to make sure to size this up so I know where I want to stop my stitch when I'm sewing. So I'm just going to mark this. So then, God, I haven't used this thing in ages. Let's do a practice run, make sure this actually works. Glad I'm doing that. That is not pretty. Don't think I'm going to use this. Unless that's the wrong piece, it might be. Might just be for edges. Can't remember. Been too long. Where'd you go? Parts. Well, I'll mark it with this out of the way. This is not the right tool. Oh, I can use this compass. That'll be good. Okay. So the top stitches on my sail rate always look better than the bottom stitches. So we're going to mark kind of evenly from this outside. We're going to try at least where the stitch is going to go. And end it right there. Okay. So we have our mark where we want our stitch to go. Just need to make sure to get it in that spot. That'll be critical. And that'll also, with the rivet in this spot, it'll kind of hold this piece together pretty well. So now the question is, do I want to carve this out a little bit or not? Thought I was going to lose something here. We don't have the most stable situation. I'm working on it. Could be better for sure. So this didn't really make as much of a divot in the leather as I wanted it to. So, oh, there's the piece I'm looking for. Under all this other stuff. Well, dang it anyway. I'll just sew it. Should be fine. Right, over to the machine. I have to do so much reading on that leather type stuff. Fascinating to me. Okay. So we're going to start up here. Can get this under my presser foot. That's kind of the requirement for this sail rate. If it can get under the presser foot, it's probably fine. And I'm going to do first couple by hand here. Try to grab my top and bottom thread. A little bit of tension. Okay. Grab my thread snips. I think I reversed enough there. All right. Cool. So now it's stitched like so. looks pretty good. Let's stitch through the, I just thought about it. The knife is probably just going to cut through these threads here, so this might not be the most well thought out project. Just seeing where the knife is actually. It should be fine. Yeah, that'll be okay. I'm gonna snip these threads. The sail rate does okay. My tension down here could be a little better. At the very bottom here, it gets a little bit where the upper tension isn't high enough, but most of the stitching is fine. I didn't skip any stitches, and the top looks nice. So I'll trim this edge after I'm done here. I wonder if I should like do a little up and down here, a little box or something. Maybe I could do rivets. Could be good. I don't know. I'll do that later. It's fine. So now, punch a hole. So I have the hole or the mark where my rivet's gonna go. I'm gonna put this hole in the center. That. I have other punches and stuff, and I have like a whole freaking arbor press to do that, but I found that these handheld ones just like, they just work really good, so. And it's like way less putzing around. Cool. So do we want the pin side of this to be showing? I think so. How does this one look in here? Yeah, we'll do the pin side up. I think I'm going to use my arbor press off camera. Sorry, gang. Just how it is, you know. Well, you know what? I could probably move it. No, we're not gonna. Sorry. Not for today. Just off camera doing something, right back. I just really like using the press for this instead of using the hammer. I find I get better results. I can take my time a little more. Said that and I totally mucked it up. Dang it. Maybe I can still rescue it. We'll try the hammer here. See if this works better this way. Don't know how loud this is going to be for y'all. Oh, that's what happened. I was using the wrong part of my arbor press. I wonder why it bent. Okay, I'm gonna do that more times. Really get that in there. And I kind of just like to use the ball peen hammer a bunch. Probably gonna mute the mic while I do this. All right. Well, this is like, you know, mostly done. Oh, right. Right, there's some critical parts to do yet. Trim the edges. We gotta kick that project. God, handles are heavy. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. To match. Oh, I mucked it up. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna burnish that edge anyway. So nerve-wracking. Doing a craft you're really like not that good at on Twitch like this. But I'm learning. Definitely a learning project. Learning not to do that, jeez. So I'm gonna get these edges here with that edge tool that I just had. I swear I just had it. Dang it. Getting kind of discombobulated. Let's put some stuff away. That usually helps, right? Put away some tools. Helps you find the other tools you're looking for. There we go. All right. I'm going to test this before I do it. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's nice. Is he going to help us when we're burnishing? Okay. Right. So just finishing up this, some scrap bin leather sheath here. It's starting to actually come together and look like a real thing. I have not done any leatherworking in a while, in a long time. Been really busy this year. So nice to get this studio set up here and actually get a little bit of practice in. I am by no means a professional at this, but I'm having fun. Okay. That's probably good. Yeah, there's like this chrome tanning stuff, the shiny stuff is just like flaking off. It's like too plasticky. Don't know that I'm a huge fan. So let's see what this stuff is doing. Hey, it's looking good. Okay. What do I need? I need Q-tip or something. Let's see here. So, this stuff here is like a burnishing compound. This will help me get nice edges on the various corners of the sheath here. So I'm going to apply some of this and then do my burnishing. But I need a Q-tip or something to apply it. So I'm going to nip off and steal one here. All right. I'm going to apply this to the edges. And then we're going to hit it with a burnisher. So a lot of these things, I mean, I've done a little bit of work on leather stuff, but like a lot of this stuff I'm still just like trying to figure out what the hell kind of materials and tools to use. What I really should do is watch some other people stream leatherworking stuff more. I bet I would learn a lot. But, you know, I think I'll be proud of this once I'm done. And then I won't have such a stabby knife. Accidental stabs on the knife. Good to avoid by having a sheath. So just applying this stuff to all the edges. Probably incorrectly, but you know, it'll work. So next, we're going to wonder where that burnisher that I made went to. That's what we're gonna do. Probably just gonna grab the Dremel ones and then mute the mic for a little while. Soulbound Leather. All she makes is sheaths for knife makers. Awesome. Thank you for that recommendation. I am super gonna watch her. Yeah, if you have any other recommendations and stuff to watch, I'll check out your channel too. I'm a little rusty. I've done more stuff with just sewing canvas, making canvas things, but I want to do more leather stuff. Like I've made mostly just like stuff that's just practical for me to use camping and stuff, so. You don't stream yet? That's cool. Hey, Chef Rex, buenos dias, buenas noches. I'm just about to mute my mic so that I can use my Dremel here. My Dremel over here. So I'll chat in just a second when I get some burnishing done. Oh, cool. So I do have an Instagram that you can always ask questions if need be. Oh, thanks, man. I'll check that out. Yeah, you can, if you want to check out my Instagram too, you can see some of the other projects I've worked on. Not a whole lot of leather stuff, but you know, getting there. But yeah, I'll check out your Instagram for sure. I need to cut off this like little nib here of extra leather. It's not burnishing right, but this is the first time I've used that burnishing compound along with that Dremel. It's working pretty good. It's pretty low effort, looking okay. So, fairly pleased with that. I'm gonna use scissors for this. Just like this extra piece of really soft leather here that's just not burnishing. Right. It doesn't help that these are all kind of inconsistent. So, but I want to keep the spacing around the rivet looking good. Goodish. This is like super soft up here, so it's not really wanting to burnish at all. But I think, you know, I think I'm done. I'm a little concerned that the knife is going to cut the threads here because I didn't use that rubber cement like I should have, or put another piece in there or anything like that, but I think that works. Gets the job done. Now I have a sheath for this knife, better than no sheath, so feeling okay with it. So, like I said, I'm going to be working on this project coming up soon. I don't know if I'll be able to stream the woodworking because I don't have a setup out there, but I'm going to be making some handles for these Mora knife blanks. I got a couple of them. Then I'll make a sheath for those, and I'll make sure to use veg tanned for that because I want to have that be nice and clean for a while. So yeah, well, thanks for watching, gang, and hanging out. I'm gonna be doing more projects like this every Thursday. I'll try not to miss any more Chef Rex. I know I've skipped a couple since you started watching the channel. But yeah, gonna keep working on this stuff and hopefully get a little bit better at this leatherworking. Probably during the holidays, I'm gonna have some extra streams to try and get some more presents and stuff done. So tune in if you want to hang out. And yeah, thanks for joining. Hope everyone has a nice night.